Welcome to a new lease of life where I'm forced to stand. But we get to watch anime still, so what's the issue? We're carrying on with some more Higurashi, but of course, well, everything is going according to plan, if that plan is not a disaster and the eradication of the city. But most importantly, the turmoil and hell that a young girl is being forced to go through. Unless it is one big fake out and the uncle is actually a very caring individual, but I doubt that one. We'll have to see exactly what happens here. Is Keiji going to raise another army? Is the townsfolk going to rally behind them? Or is something completely out of left field going to appear that doesn't really have much of a build-up or understanding behind it? I'm going to go with that one. But to find out, we're going to have to watch it. So, get yourselves ready, get a drink, and let's begin. And, well, that would raise a few questions. But disrespecting shrines and the like, and now the village hoping that something happens. Wow. If the family wasn't hated already. Looks like they've gathered a sizable force. Doesn't seem as though it's all from one walk of life either, so which gives it more credibility. Having a lot of them behind the fight back against the services. Ah, he came prepared. So yes, we are very much back into the depths of setting up this little blockade and... Oh yeah, let's hope not too much like the damn war. How is Rika feeling about this? You know, because she's gone through it before, she's seen that this works. But she seems a little apprehensive. Is it not going forward like how she knows of? Wow, we're going for the big leagues. Really trying to cut them off. Separate off the the leaders of this movement. Now, I'm surprised that Keiji was one of the members there, but I'm pretty sure that due to his infatuous kind of due to his willingness to just jump in and stand up for her, he fought his way in, and Rika probably made a good case for him being there, considering he can change the future. Fate itself. But yes, a month. We don't have that kind of luxury. So if you can go above and beyond. What was it? They got help from outside of the village, wasn't it? Members from Tokyo or something actually got wind of this. He has gone up from a veritable nobody in the village, just an outsider, to being an integral part of far too much. And, well, considering that how much we know he is central to it all. Not surprising in the slightest. Quite the important place to be. I would laugh if it was some of the other old members who actually had the expensive and cool shoes. So, yeah, I just had to... it hurts my fallen arches. I need to get something with a bit more support. Do I remember her being pulled away for anything? No. No, I don't. I mean, the lighting on her there was pretty... Well, obviously it was pretty low, but quite well. Nicely how the gradient was illuminating her. I feel like rather than these just nice questions and just fill him out a bit more, give him the reasoning behind it. Why is she telling him to back off? Mm. So they are rescinding that the school itself will be shut down if he continues to apply pressure here. Looks like there's definitely more beyond the pale. Is the fact that he is delving into these kind of things, pushing for questions that really don't have too much to do with him other than it's his friend that's at the centre of it all. Oh, nice movement on the trees. But they're wrapped in superstition and tradition. And until they do, that hidden animosity in the village, everyone is just falling into line where they're afraid of being ostracised as well. Oh, how mob justice rules. Well, now he has a clear figure to convince. The grand strategy. Violence. So, until we have someone who doesn't have much else to lose to bring it up, it will stay the same. Thank you for saying it out loud. It also doesn't help that, in Japanese society, it is much more of not intruding onto people and not causing upset or inconvenience for anyone else. So which adds that extra level of difficulty in bringing up this kind of things to go against the flow. Let's have, a grand redesign. Less in a more physical sense, but in a very diplomatic way of changing their minds. The willingness to help is really infectious, isn't it? I will say, I can't remember how this went down previously, but seeing it in such dim lighting, but with the room behind them showing the path ahead, where they need to go, who they need to change. Really is no other way, is there? Does he have an appointment? No, I'm not going to wait, actually. Screw your tradition, screw the formalities. However, there is more that can be done here. Actually, yeah, put it into small, very succinct points. The days of banding together are over. We have nothing we need to fight about. Should he be raising his voice? We got a late attendee. And probably in a little less straight up offensive manner. You might listen to her. Are they likely to reopen the project if they rise up? They're intertwined. So this comes down to money again? It always boils down to money. Well, if that's not the case, you've got nothing to worry about. So press them on their honour, their dignity, and so they're willing to sacrifice a young girl for their... Pointing out the history that is above them, that has regaled every meeting they've had, undermining exactly their way of thinking right now. Why don't we overturn this council? Time for the new generation to rule. However, right now, I struggle to believe any of it. You know, speak back to the prior triumphs that they've gone through. Rile up that kind of fire in their hearts. It's like standard. Hopefully this talk, though, doesn't take it too far. It is also kind of fun that we have so many of the elders that I don't think we've seen before. Maybe in the background running some of the stalls. Did not need that camera angle, but okay. Thanks, Keiichi. Only a couple who are agreeing with his standpoint. Then show it. While not directly interfering, then they can put up a barrier between them and the government. Ah, what a bastard he is. He's got to learn a thing or two about manners, but that will come with age. Is there a daily limit? Put out a statement. That might want to be the clearest. Well, bring it out into the open. Let's have a vote on it. This someone. Is it the curse itself? Well, let's see if we can have a little communion with them. So as long as they can have everyone on the village, the council agree, will they go with them to back up to make sure that don't believe the case is just bullshitting? But the fact that this has been thing of which is that it doesn't sound like he's against them at all. He's on board. He's congratulating Keiichi for the talk well done. What was with the oddness that he dealt with earlier then? If she's not in direct danger right this moment... Same could be said. And she has chosen a man of science and medicine, tipping his hat to the likes of Hojo. Now we know that she can be brought around, and Keiichi's less than sensitive way of bringing up things, it was the catalyst of it. Much like the metal bat that he's known for. He heard, but he doesn't really care. Would they not do the same if it was a member of their own immediate family? The cycle will perpetuate if they just stand back and do nothing about it. They know the roadblocks, they know what needs to be said and done and who needs to be on board. Yeah, quite good for a compadre of children. A simple action. That's the statement. I couldn't remember the wording, but it was something very similar to that. Don't call in your underlings. Handle this like a head of a family yourself. I mean, he has been through this several times before. I wonder if any of that prior knowledge has actually worn off on him. Would you find anyone else that's not Keiichi to have this much gusto in jumping into village matters, even if it's a friend in danger? I mean... Okay. Good to know where she stands. And that's why she likes him. Is it going to go down the line of... Yes. Prostrating before the... You've got one, that's your limit. Next comes the bat. And the village have already agreed, yeah, they held no issues and animosity to the young girl. Just need to wash their hands of the past. Where's the bat? I mean, now they step into action. Calm down a little. Come on now. Don't want to get your heart rate up. Now, if she does pass away, he'll be a suspect number one. Hopefully it won't take a month. After calming down a little and not having the threat of death at her door, but maybe a little less of the straight up threatening to people. Someone has the balls, as she said, to stand up against it. I mean, why, whatever way, reason is there to fight so hard? Another step has been cleared. Let's hope there isn't failure on the horizon. This quick slip back into her alternate personality and understanding. And back. You know, there isn't too much that I can really draw on from how things went the first way, because as soon as I see how they go in this one, the original gets wiped out of my brain immediately. But also, if there were any additional scenes, comments, or people present that weren't previously, how has that actually affected it all? I think the outcome of it ended up being practically the same. I know that whatever happens in the next episode or whatever is going to involve the police guy. Since he's always been just on the outskirts of the story. You know, when things do go wrong in this world, there are those that stand up against it, Kenshi being the main factor in a lot of it. But, like I said, Rika knowing the fallout of it all, probably a little more done with this whole routine. I would like if she had a little more presence in the story, a little more driving force. But then again, part of the reason why she hasn't been able to change anything by herself is because she is just a child, trapped in the eternal body of like a 8-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever she is. I just think that the brief glimpses we have of, what was it, the bit with Hanyu? Was it this season we had Hanyu and like this crystal shards? How is that all gonna... Is any of that actually meaningful? Is that going to come into play at all? And with the glimpses of cycles past, failures, and maybe even a success, it has just been little... bloop. Oh yeah, I remember this. Rather than anything else. I'd like it if there was a bit more of a reason behind them. But it might take away a little agency of the characters now. It's a balancing act, really. But the village seems to be swaying. The council now... Well, not only the council, pretty much everyone acknowledging Sadako wasn't the bad guy. She wasn't the one to go up against them in the dam project. Just a unlikely and undeserving victim in it all, and just took a hot-headed statement or two about bashing in the head of an old woman to really get them to stand up against it. How many thoughts have been in the general consensus of the citizenry, but have people been scared to stand up and actually express that? I suspect a lot. And when you have them stand up against it, you have things like the French Revolution. And I guess with that, there's nothing particularly new that I think I can talk about, considering this episode and Higurashi in general. I just caught my face in the camera. Ugh. Stress is one hell of a drug. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, nothing particularly new. But the whole retelling, I've said it before, nice to see with a slightly different twist and angle and an art style. And now, considering the previous episodes and knowing kind of where they went, imagining what will happen in the future going forward with, what's this one? What's the big surprise now? Hojo sets fire to the house, trapping himself and her in it after everyone's rallied together. Aliens. It's always a good go-to. Now the fight back causes a surge in the parasites. Well, we've got all the village rallying together and understanding. Well, time for a fight back. Just more than they bargained for. I am still pressing on something to do with Oishi, though, because, well, why was he so aggressive with Keiichi at the start? Why is he always just kind of lingering and then appearing, like in the meeting now? Wait a bit. Oh, now to sit down and make his presence known. We kind of, unless I'm misremembering, got a connection between him and the dead aunt, so a reason why he would be a little interested in this case. But despite the earlier ill feelings towards how he conducted himself with Keiichi, he doesn't seem that, off the rails. He doesn't seem like he's fighting back. He doesn't seem like he's got anything shady going on. He was congratulating, well done for standing up. We're not stuck in this village mentality anymore, kind of thing. So what is the big hold-up going to be? Well, considering that, the first way round with Renner just going off the rails with a knife, that came out of almost nowhere. I doubt that I'm going to be able to see this one coming. So it's going to be a nice sturdy surprise for us all. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, let me know. If you've enjoyed the new style where you get to see my paws in a little different angle. Well, I'm not going to change it actually because I need to stop sitting so much in my life. But if you have and want to show your appreciation, leave a comment and a like down below. Maybe even subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. God knows YouTube is doing its utmost to kill me again. I did what they wanted. I took links out. I changed things up so it's not against copyright much anymore. God damn it. I need to fight back against the system myself. I need strong, able-bodied people to fight. Well, I need to fight back against the system itself. I need strong, independent thinkers to really back my corners as well. Or if that seems too much, jump onto my Discord down below for notifications and any updates and a poll every now and again for what may come up later. But make sure to take care of yourselves, get some rest, and I'll see you there. And if you want to be part of the grand meeting that comes together for, well, just watching anime really, but sometimes there are big discussions and decisions to be made, and I don't have to do it all alone, thanks to the likes of Sal, Aegis TR, Darky26, Squado, Kite, Reds Racer, Ultra Pouring, Wolfie Sensei, Zug, and everyone else. If you too would like to join into the fight against the mysterious forces that be, consider joining onto my Patreon as well, because it's a hell of a lot easier than actual diplomatic discussions and meetings to change society.